No, no fun. This is very
This is
serious.
no fun. This is super serious. Yeah.
All serious. Nothing is fun.
Serious like that
Yeah,
guy.
like that. That's the serious we're looking for right now. Oh my god.
Oh, that was
I heard
definitely
it
a
hit.
touch.
I heard it hit. All right, we are joined here at the Long Beach track by Jack. Jack, great to meet you. Thank
Nice
you
to
for
meet
joining
you.
us.
Yeah, thank you.
So we have a variety of questions for you, some track related, some racing related, and a couple
Okay.
from the fans. So
All
I
right.
guess to start off first, give everyone just like a really quick intro to yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What got you interested in Indy?
So my name's Jack Harvey. I was born in a small town called Lincoln. It's 2 hours north of London. Moved to America in 2014. So this is like my 10-year anniversary of being here. I love it, honestly. I love the amount we get to travel, the amount of different things we get to see and be a part of. You know, rarely do I complain about life, and this is my 6th year in IndyCar.
Wow.
This is my 4th race at Long Beach. So yeah, I have 5th race in Long Beach actually. So just a lot of things to be grateful about, and you know, life's pretty great, even when maybe some results you wish could go better. So no
That's
complaints from me.
That's fair. So as a driver that grew up in the UK, what brought you to the US versus focusing on some of the more European circuits?
To be honest, man, at the time, timing.
Yeah.
You know, it was timing. I won in Formula 3, which normally is a path toward Formula 1. It just didn't happen for me, really. Just, you know, other people, you know, were affiliated with some of the Formula 1 teams, and although we were talking to them regularly, it didn't appear that there was going to be a spot for me to land into or fill in. And in 2014, my sponsors were just, you know, of the opinion that maybe we should try and do Indy Lights at the time, which is now Indy Next, and that was instead of doing Formula 2.
Yeah.
So no reason for it other than, you know, we felt like this was a fantastic opportunity. It wasn't really a plan B. There's been a huge amount of British drivers and crew guys, engineers and whatnot who have come and done, you know, racing in North America, but specifically IndyCar. And I was just really happy to be, you know, what is now a very, very small part of, you know, that legacy. Just want to do it for as long as I can.
Yeah. So it's more how the cards fell, not an active decision then.
It was, I mean, it was still an active decision. Like, there was other opportunities in Europe that we could have pursued, but then we were like, you know what, we really like the idea of this. We're going to commit to it. And although I signed a 1-year deal, 10 years later, here I am.
10 years later, you're still here.
I still live in Indy. You know, I love it. Yeah, it's all good.
Amazing. So kind of a follow-up question on it. So obviously Indy 500, a great race that you'd like to win.
Absolutely.
Exclude that. What would be one race outside of the 500 that you would, if you could just win someday, that you would win?
I mean, I know we're in Long Beach, but I mean, this has got to be a pretty like historic track for sure. You know, huge amount of successful drivers have also won here. So it feels like there's something about this place that, you know, if you've ended your career with a resume that most people would like, normally it includes a race win in Long Beach. But I mean, Road America is a fantastic track in Wisconsin. Actually, I know it's a newer one, but Nashville was super fun. You know, just I feel like you would have an epic party on Broadway, you know, later in that night. But yeah, they'd be the ones that you look at the start of the year and go, okay, if we could choose to win some, that's what we would choose.
Nice. So I mean, Long Beach seems to be a very popular track among the drivers. They seem to enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Is it the track itself? Is it the fans? Is it the city? Is it a combo of everything? What would you say?
I mean, it truly is a combo of everything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the weather here is always beautiful. Everyone loves being in California. You know, you're so close to LA and Santa Monica and, you know, Malibu. So a lot of the guys will come in early, explore a little bit. That's what I did yesterday. Went to Santa Monica for a little bit, and then...
As you should.
Why not?
As an LA local, you made a good choice.
Yeah, and then, you know, then we get focused, we come to the track, and, you know, we try and figure out how we can go around the streets of Long Beach as quickly as we can. So I guess it kind of goes back to what I said. It's a very historic race. I mean, IndyCar have been coming here for an unbelievable amount of time. You know, Formula 1 used to race here. It's clearly got racing in its heart, and they're the places that we want to be in because just a core group of fans that love motorsport and want to see a great race, and that's what we want to put on. Yeah.
Kind of give us a little walkthrough of like things that you look for on the track walk.
Yeah.
And like, what are you doing on a track walk that you're looking out for?
So normally you would come down the back straight through turn 9. The exit of turn 9 is really important for entry position into turn 10. We're on the exit of 10 now, obviously just getting into the hairpin. So right now we'd be a little bit more to our left-hand side, you're trying to get a braking that is as straight as possible, because it's actually a short braking zone, but it's very low speed. Like this section, which although it's quite quick on entry, from here to the the apex point, it's all quite slow speed. So if you think about it that way, you're actually in the corner for a long period of time. So trying to figure out ways to maximize braking, which maybe just a small line change there so you can be a bit straighter, which also then opens up the exit for the longest straight on the track. That's kind of like what you're looking out for. So at this point, your eyes are probably, your peripheral, you'll be aware of the where that motel wall is. Because I mean that's the tightest corner on our schedule. So
yeah. It was a pretty, I mean, it seems like a common corner to kind of try to throw an overtake into before the straight, but because of the setup for it and the tightness, is a tough one?
It's really tough because, so the entry of turn 10 is probably the most aero-dependent corner that we have. So if you're behind a car, you get a lot of dirty air is what we call it. It's just the way that the air is no longer flowing smoothly and still. So you lose a little bit of that grip, that downforce. So typically you'll see a lot of action here on restarts. So if it's gone yellow and it goes green, like this is one of them corners that like people in that grandstand are going to see some action for sure.
They're going to see some
because
good
like
stuff.
Also like at that moment, like from where we are to the curb over there, I mean, there are going to be cars everywhere. Like it is mental. And the thing is, it's hilarious that you would think that drivers over a period of time would understand that that's a tight corner and only so many cars can get through it, but if you get even a sniff of an opportunity,
the driver sees a gap and they go, we could probably fit four around this corner.
We could probably do that.
We could probably do four.
We've never done it before, but this was probably the day that we could.
You're like, today, I know it didn't work yesterday or last year, but like, we could probably do it today.
But like, I mean, even from here, you kind of see how tight it is, but it's not really until we even get a bit closer do you see truly how tight it is, because the actual apex of the corner is so late that at this point we can't even see the apex.
So, let's walk towards the apex. Because it is a very interesting set. It feels very wide, but then you can see that it definitely narrows down right when you get into this final corner.
Well, I think that's actually one of the characteristics of Long Beach track in general, is like there's so many wide entry points, but the actual apex radius is very narrow. So you still, even from this point, are not really on the apex right now. It's still even deeper in the corner. I mean, this essentially is like, this is your apex point. So between here to where we are, like, there's literally a wall if you were to draw the straight line. So that's why building that open radius is so important. Then you get to here, you throw the lock in, and then basically once you've got past like this little bit of the red and white paint, I mean, you're just going to be committing to gas, and it's a super long straight. So if you can't make a move happen in here, normally we're setting one up for the end of the straight. So good traction, and whatnot is like so critical at this place.
I mean, it's a street track. Things change, obviously. It can get a little hectic. It's like you said, it's very wide. I know I came for the first time last year, and turn one itself, it's a big wide setup, and then it and you're coming in quick. You watch them come in real quick, and it gets a little crazy.
Well, and you can see it on a day like today, where the track hasn't been swept, obviously. So the outside's pretty dirty, but that's obviously going to rubber in. However, it rubber like there's a like a channel that rubbers in. So then you've got to figure out like how wide can I be to get radius without them being outside of the grip. So I think this track is a great challenge for like so many people, and it's just it's fun, and I think the driver can make a big difference, the car can make a big difference. So I mean, overall we're I think everybody enjoys being here.
It seems like a fun track to drive. I mean, I know the fans really enjoy it and everything. We'll step this way so we don't run over, I guess, today.
We're
trying to hit that apex.
Willpower's going to hurt us.
So I guess bouncing really quick back to just like IndyCar in general. You've been in the series for a while. Do you have any standout moments of like maybe like your favorite and least favorite moments from your like time in IndyCar so far?
I mean, there's been a couple of like really good qualifying laps that I've been super proud of. Indy GP a couple of times we qualified on the front row, same at Road America, and Road America is one of my favorite tracks, so I was buzzing about that. Probably one of my most memorable moments actually was last year, Indy 500 bump day. It was just the worst day I've ever had at the track, but it was dramatic. It had all the makings of a nail biter, story tale sort of day, and on that particular day we did end up on the nice side of it. There's a team not so much. I bumped out my teammate, one of my closest friends, but it's unfortunately that's how it goes, and I was grateful to be in the race. But I think just to do this in general is such a privilege, and we're lucky to do it. That being said, you do live the high and the lows, because everybody in this paddock is competitive. They want to win. The teams do, the mechanics do, the drivers do. So if you're not winning, you're trying to figure out like how we get there. So it's just a great time.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure to perform, but it seems like a good quality like community you guys have going on as well.
I think so, and I mean, you know, like as an example, you know, I don't fly back until kind of like Monday lunchtime, you know, and no doubt we'll get a couple beers with some of the guys on Sunday night, not for any other reason other than we are just mates and we like each other, we like being around each other, and in that moment, why not? Because, you know, we can have that, you know, competitiveness and race each other super hard because, you know, when the helmet goes on, you know, I feel like at that moment I've got responsibility to my team, to my sponsors, you know, to everybody that's helped me up to this point to go out and give it, you know, 110, whilst trying to maintain a friendship. In that moment, my responsibility as an athlete is more important. However, when you're with like-minded people, you know that we all can just be that way, and you know, as long as nothing like untoward happens, that we can still go and have a beer, and I like that.
Nice. That's great. And then the last question I have is, there was a bit of a break you guys had this year from St. Pete to now with the $1 Million Challenge in the middle.
Yes,
obviously,
felt like one.
Yeah, racing is hard because there's not a lot of ways to practice outside of being on a track.
Sure.
So how do you, like yourself and the drivers feel on like that pretty solid gap?
Well, not great. I mean, we had a test day at Indy to test a new hybrid system, so that was nice. And also there was an Indy Open test on the oval, getting ready for the Indy 500. So I mean, I guess in that, from a calendar perspective, there was a gap in races, which, to be honest, I think when the season starts, I think the drivers just want to do it. Yeah. Like, you're in race mode, you're in the zone, you know, you've got your schedule pretty dialed in as to, you know, when I'm going to work out, you know, your trainers know the flow, everybody in your life kind of knows the flow. But then when it's like, well, we've got a week off, and then you're back on it, like, you know, sometimes that in and out can be a little bit challenging to navigate, but I think one of the things I've enjoyed as I've got more experience is enjoying them moments. Yeah. You know, just enjoy, not to like completely chill and like not be present. I mean, I went to Chicago to see the team, and you know, you're still active trying to, you know, further where you are, but you can take that moment just to take a breath. The next 3 weeks are super busy. Yeah. And then May's obviously super busy. And then actually straight from the 500 you go to Detroit, Road America. So, you know, there are pockets of the season where it's just super intense. So any opportunity you can get just to catch your breath, stay like sane is pretty cool. Yeah, it's like you said, it's a great sport and a unique sport to be part of. It's like being able to actually enjoy it. I think that's one of the things I've learned the most from my first season in IndyCar to now is finding them moments just to enjoy while you're here. Yeah. You know, when I first got here, I wanted to prove myself so badly, which I think this all makes sense. Yeah. You know, like I felt a ton of pressure, and I still feel all that. I think as you get a little bit older and you've got a little bit more of a, you know, at least experience within the paddock, you know that people know your talent. Yeah. They know that you're competitive. So going out for a dinner, undoing like an extra night maybe and stuff like that, just to enjoy it and keep that positive vibe and energy going, I think it's critical. Because again, there's so many long slugs in the season where, you know, if it's going great and you've got that momentum, like you want as many races as you can. But, you know, if it's not going well, that's a lot of races back to back that are, you know, is draining and a bit intense. Where you can pluck a pocket of like relief, whether it's fun or socializing with friends, like I think you need it. Yeah. That's awesome. So I have a few questions from the FanAmp app, which is a great app of just tons of different like motorsport racing fans. So Papaya Girl 94 says, what's the most annoying thing about a race weekend? Most annoying thing about a race weekend? Probably the lack of sleep Saturday night, because if the weekend right now is, you know, pretty relaxed today, you know, obviously then practice isn't until tomorrow afternoon. But then by the time we finish Saturday and then you've got the warm-up and then the race, it seems like as you get closer to the main event, that's when we're sleeping less. Yeah. So that's a lot ideal. When you need the most sleep. Yeah, that's where you want the most sleep. So that's probably the most little annoying thing. Nice. This from Manandalva. Do you have any race day superstition or ritual that you do? No, I'm like the least superstitious person. Like I don't even have anything like... Not even like a playlist you listen to? I love music, but I don't have like a set like, here's my playlist. Actually, I normally like have to have my friends make playlists. Like I'm not that guy on Spotify who's got like some awesome, you know, 2-hour car ride, share play sort of deal. Yeah. A few things I do really just more out of convenience. that I would do it no matter what I was doing.
Fair.
But yeah, I'm not superstitious.
Nice.
No lucky pants, no lucky socks. Got some great Star Wars socks on today, so that's
There
good.
you go.
So,
You can't go wrong with those.
It's all good, mate. Yeah.
It's all about the fun socks.
Yeah. I think they're.
Oh, is that?
Have I got
just
Star
like
Wars on the side?
A little on the side, yeah. Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
little
there you
TIE
go,
Fighter on the
the TIE
side.
Fighter,
That's so
yeah.
good.
You got to take little pockets of happiness where you can get them,
Yeah.
mate, like I said.
Exactly. All right, and then the final question.
Yeah.
Allison says, how would you describe the difference in approach/driving technique that comes with a road, oval, or street tracks?
Do you know, honestly, they're so completely different. You know, use an oval for as an example, not comparable to a road and a street circuit. I guess you could argue that on a street circuit, the level of concentration is ultra high because there's no margin of error, right? So if you make a mistake, you're more than likely going to hit a wall. Same on an oval, but on an oval, your average speed is going to be, you know, at Indy 500, 230 miles an hour. Where, you know, here it's probably going to be 110. I guess, you know, like probably 175, 180 maybe a top speed, but you know, it's just significantly different. On a road course, it's probably one of the times when most people push the edge of the car, because typically on a lot of them anyway, you could make a small mistake but not hit anything. So a lot of it really comes to risk and reward. So that's probably the biggest thing that I think jumps to mind. But they're so different that each really has like its own mental challenges, I guess.
Yeah. And you said, like, you know, street tracks have a very small margin for error. Is there, with this particular track and its layout, is there one particular section or corner that has, like, is just the most common for driver errors, for yourself, just in general?
I mean, I think turn 5 can be challenging because of the way that you have to run the curb there. Turn 8 feels like it's a really fast entry. It's wide, but it gets super narrow. So inside wall, outside wall.
Yeah.
Then to exit turn 1, like that wall can sneak up on you pretty well too. So, I mean, honestly, any street circuit, although people normally build into it, I mean, street circuit laps in qualifying feel as on the limit as anywhere else, because again, you've got walls are flying past you quickly. You know, you feel like you're just a few inches away from them. You know, and sometimes an inch is the difference between a hero and a zero on a street circuit, you know, and you really just want to stay on the former side of that. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes,
Awesome. And then we'll wrap up with one more FanAmp question.
Yeah, go for it. Favorite Star Wars movie?
There you go. Favorite Star Wars movie.
What is it?
What is it?
Yeah, that's you. I'm asking you.
You're asking me that?
Yeah.
I'm going to create controversy, though, because it's Revenge of the Sith, the third one.
Really?
Yeah. It's followed closely by Episode 5.
Okay, yeah, I like 5. I would probably go 5, 6, and then Rogue One.
That's fair. That's a great point.
Good, yeah.
It is, of some of the newer ones, that one does
and
hit
I actually
the best.
didn't mind 7. Like, I thought 7 felt like it was the start of something cool, and then it just didn't.
And then
it
8 and 9
fell
just
away.
kind of, we don't have to talk.
That,
We don't have to talk about that. What is one thing that you always do after you're done racing, either to relax, kick back, whatever it might be, that you always do?
I'll go and get a pizza and a beer.
What kind of beer?
It honestly depends where we are in the country.
That's fair. Any particular pizza you get?
Well, I'll pretty much rotate between 3.
Okay.
I go just straight cheese.
Oh. All right.
Or pepperoni.
Okay.
Or like a barbecue chicken.
Okay.
Or actually, no, I'm 4 as a 4th. And if we go to one of them like artisan styled, Neapolitan style, I like prosciutto with an egg in the middle. Like a fried egg in the middle.
Yeah.
I feel like with that order, I'm ready for California, kind of.
That's fair. So then the only final important question then is
Favorite
pineapple
beer?
on pizza,
No,
yes or no?
no fruit on pizza.
Wow.
I got another one for you.
Okay.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Bread?
No, it's not. No, it's
oh
its
man,
own
we just started
category.
debates today.
No, it's own category.
Oh my goodness. That's great. I mean, you know, that's a whole debate. Does everything fall into a soup, sandwich, or salad? And I would argue most things do.
Is cereal a soup?
By the definition, I mean,
No,
kinda,
it's
Well,
not.
then, what else would you call it?
It's just its own category.
it's just cereal. So like if you had milk and you toasted up some bread, chopped it up, and threw it in there.
Have you done that?
No. I know someone who's done that, which is just like, you're just making cereal at that point.
Unless it's
Would
like,
it be cereal? Would it be soup, you know?
Unless it's like,
It's like a cinnamon raisin bread.
I was about to say, that's like
that's
a
what they've
cinnamon
done. But I'm
bread,
like,
yeah.
why don't you just buy cinnamon toast crunch?
I don't know what they've done there. But
I don't know
I feel like
either.
they've butchered it both ways perfectly bad.
Yeah, you're like, you have made two great things
Just
somehow
awful.
less bad.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, so then the final question I have is, which driver could you beat in a foot race around the Long Beach track?
And beat?
Yeah,
Or
like
who
could
would
you
I
win?
want to like race with?
I guess, yeah, I guess that might be the same thing if you want to win.
You know, I just think he's like such a hilarious dude. I always just feel like I want to hang out with Scotty Mac.
Okay.
I feel like it doesn't really matter what we're doing. I just have a good time with him because like I know we'd be like pushing each other.
Yeah.
And it'd probably be this
literally in the foot
and it'd
race.
probably be this like casual like walk, jog, and then get to like decide where we're going, then just like sprint. And then we'd probably have some drinks after and
There
then
you
you
go.
know laugh about it. But yeah, Scotty Mac would be high on my list. Who else? Graham. I definitely know I'd beat Graham in a running race.
Yeah.
No issues there. Joseph's a pretty fit dude. I feel like quite a handsome man as well. So I'm, you know, definitely no problem hanging out with him.
Feel like no problem with that at all.
Nah.
No issues.
Nah, that's all good.
Incredible.
Who'd you go?
Oh, that's tough. It's the question of, I run, I'm just not as fast as I used to be. And,
I feel like Tony
but I am a
Kanaan-
distance runner.
Tony Kanaan's a good runner from what I hear.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to run with someone who I feel like I could beat, but then also someone that's just like a good runner and has like a good vibe to just like chill
I
with.
may be completely wrong on this, and he might be a biker.
Yeah.
But I think that Tom Blomqvist has got like a good amount of like cardio talent.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And I'm not sure if I've made that up in my head or if that's real. So maybe we should
If we
check that.
find him later, maybe I'll
Maybe
have
should
to
ask him,
challenge.
yeah.
I'll ask him and challenge him to a race afterwards.
Say, Jack said you're a really good runner.
Yeah,
Is that true?
We're gonna test it down the main straight.
Yeah.
I hope you're ready. I'll be in Vans, you'll be in whatever you got on.
Well,
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you so much for the time,
no problem.
Jack,
Thank
and good
you.
luck this weekend.
Appreciate it. Thank you.